Hey everyone, so thanks for joining me. Today's video is going to be my Friday sketch using the Sweet Stop sketch. This is the SSS 86, and you can stop it here, cut out your pieces if you want. I'll try and tell you some of the sizes I did as I'm going, okay? So the square image that you see, the large piece, I cut it to be, I think it's 2.5 by 2.5. That's what I made my square. And then the mat, I just made it 1/8 of an inch bigger. So it would be 2 5/8 by 2 5/8. All right. And then I decided to take, I have the stamp set that coordinates with the Breathe collection. And so I took the large flower that's in it and I'm going to stamp it with Versamark ink. And then I'm using, it's called Duchess Blue from Nuvo. It's a blue embossing powder. And it's like a deep navy. But it has a nice shine, or I guess kind of like a shimmer about it when it's melted. And it goes pretty well with this paper collection, actually. So what I did was, with the stamping and the initial inking, when I did this the very first time, I was able to put my piece right back in to the same spot and stamp it again with the Versamark. I had a little smudge, so I'm taking my scissors to kind of get that out. So I'm trying to put it right back in the very corner, and then I want to ink it up again, the stamp image, and then stamp again with Versamark. Now, what you can also do is, while it's still hot from being melted, you could potentially pour the powder back over top of it again, and that hot, I guess that liquid, the hot embossing, will attach more of the powder, so that way you get a thicker layer. On this particular version, it does a little bit of ghosting because I guess I didn't have it all the way down in the corner. So it's very important. I don't know why it always happens to me. I call myself putting it in the corner and it never fails. I'll get a ghosting pattern. And just like I did with this right here, I'm just going to keep going, because a lot of times you can't really tell, but it's enough that, it just bothers me. You know what I mean? We're going to keep it moving though. So once we get it melted, I'm going to place it to the side, let it cool off, and then set the MISTI off to the side as well. And we're just going to use the coffee filter to put the embossing powder right back in. And I'm so glad I found my coffee filters. I put them in a drawer. I don't know if you guys have this same issue, but once I put it in a drawer, it's literally like, I don't know when I'll see it again, let alone, remember to go in and get them. So they're on my desk now, and it makes life so much easier when you don't have it in a large container for getting it back in with less mess. Okay, so our pattern stripe paper, I cut to, I want to say I did that one 4 by 5. And then the pattern, or the mat, I might have made like 4 1/8 by 5 1/8, something like that. You just want it to have a nice border all the way around on all 4 sides when you put it on top of the card base itself. And this is one of those ones where there's no measurements on it. So I play and I try to size everything a little bit bigger, and then that way I can trim it down if I need it to. If you already cut it too short, you're not going to be able to, make the paper grow again. So that's always my thing. If you think the square might be 2.5 and you're not sure, then cut the paper at 3 by 3 and see how you like that. If it seems too big, then cut it down to your initial thought, which would have been 2.5 by 2.5. That's how I always figure these out. A lot of times I do all my figuring out off camera, so that way you guys don't have to sit through like a 20-minute video. But if you guys would like to see more of the trying to figure out the sizes and stuff like that on these particular sketches, just leave a comment down below and I will definitely try and incorporate one. Maybe not one for my regular Fridays, but I can just do a special video talking about, you know, how to size and figure out your measurements for the sketches that you see. So I got that scallop piece from the back of the 6.5 by 6.5 paper pad. And then I took one of the stickers that they're almost like washi tape because they're just strips and they have different patterns and stuff like that. I put that above it and we're going to glue it down using the tape runner and some art glitter glue. Because even though the sticker part does have some adhesion, you know, I always like to add a little bit of the wet glue to make sure it definitely sticks and stays. So now on this one, I decided to add some of the peel-offs from Love from Lizzie. I'm just going to trim, and this little teeny piece on the end, I'm just going to get rid of that. But when I cut on the other side, I will save the little bit of the peel off onto the same, you know, paperwork, or not paperwork, what's the word I'm looking for? You'll see. I'm going to bring it over and put it right back on it just to save it, because you never know, you know, you can always use, if they're a little bit bigger, if they're too tiny, throw it away, don't worry about it. But if it's a decent size, then save it. All right. So now we're going to attach our flower image to the matte piece, because we're going to glue that straight on top of the scallop. And we're just going to, once again, add the tape runner, and I always use my art glitter glue because if I ever put it down and it's wonky or it doesn't look right, I'm going to try and pick it up and move it, and I don't want to wind up tearing or messing up my project. So that wet glue gives me just a few minutes, not even minutes really, it's like maybe a minute that you can pull it off because that art glitter glue dries quick. It really does. Okay, so for the sentiment, they have some oval sentiments in the back of the 6.5 by 6.5 pad as well. So I grabbed one of those. I want to say, which one is that one? I know one of these says, like, it's your day. I mean, I literally just had this in front of me and I don't know where they are. Here they are. Oh, how funny. Okay, so you can see it there. So this one says, time to celebrate. And then I'm going to put 3 Nuvo drops down on the bottom left-hand side. And once I get them with the top put back on, which, by the way, I think my diamond kind of fell off the top, so I'm just adding some art glitter glue and I'm going to try and glue it back down. It may fall off again. I'll just keep gluing, and then if it falls completely off, I'll just say forget it, because they do that. So if you're out there in the universe, y'all got to figure out a better way to keep your diamonds on top of the Nuvo drops, because it's driving me nuts. But there's our final product. I like how these turned out, and I'm going to grab the other one. You can see here I had it further down, so I put the 3 Nuvo drops up at the top. And on this one, I didn't use the peel off, just to show you the difference, you know, if you want to use it or not use it. If you have them, these are great ways to add them to your projects, even though it may not necessarily like have a thin strip on the design itself. It's just a little bit of something to give it a little, you know, a little extra pizzazz. So here are our close-ups. I just want to say thank you guys so much for joining me. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and share button. As always, at the end, I will have links to previous card sketches. And like I said earlier, if you guys would like to see that video where I deconstruct or show you how I figure out measurements on My sketches, just leave it down below and I will definitely look into doing a video for you. Thanks again, you guys, and I hope you have a great weekend.